Okay, so I just like to start out, as a massage therapist, I always like to make contact with my client, whether it's a child or an adult, and just kind of establish contact and apply some either fractionated coconut oil or possibly another type of oil that my client prefers. I use a lot of grapeseed and jojoba oil. And I'm not doing anything that's related to the AromaTouch right now. I'm just making contact. So we are going to go ahead and get out our first oil, which is Balance. It brings a very grounding feeling, a sense of calmness and well-being. When you're doing the AromaTouch on an adult, you generally use 3 to 5 drops of oil, but on children, we're going to use 1 drop and just kind of spread it along the spine. And this part right here, you're going to use the pads of your fingertips, trying to maintain contact with your client or the person that you're working on. You're next going to do 3 heart circles. Well, 3 palm circles directly over the heart. And I'm just trying to find that connection with, this is Bree, trying to find a good spot to connect with her. So you slide your hands to the low back or the base of the sacrum and to the crown, not the crown of the head, but just the base of the skull right there. And I like to tell my clients to take a deep breath and relax into that movement. Next, we're going to take lavender oil, and this is one of those oils that's just very relaxing. I'm going to do 1 drop and spread the oil along the spine using very soft touch. Now we're going to go into the palm slide, and you're just going to start in the middle of the back on the spine, very light touch, and slide your hand from the midline out to the outer edge of the body using just a good slow rhythm and making sure that you go all the way from the lower back up over the shoulder and up over through the hair. You're going to switch sides and do it 3 times on the other side as well. And you want to just kind of get into a rhythm here. Okay, now we're going to do the 5-zone pull. In Eastern medicine, they indicate many meridians of energy actually, and Dr. Hill has identified 5 zones. So the first zone is straight down the middle of the back. I may have done that a little bit incorrectly. You want to start right in the middle. Your pointer fingers will just come straight down the spine, right straight over the top of the head. And then as you pull out to 2, 3, 4, and 5, you're going to sweep your hands over the shoulder blades, over the neck, and over the top of the head. This was Bree's favorite part. Okay. I just like to kind of, when I feel certain energetic points, I just pause. Next, we're going to move into the auricular activation. And it's just drawing tiny little circles on the ears, starting at the lobe and going over each ear. You only do this you do repeat this 3 times. Okay. And it feels pretty good. It's interesting, that's actually a very energizing technique. Like if you're tired, you could do 3 circles of the activation on your ears, and it tends to give you more energy. So, okay, next we'll be using the essential oil tea tree, and this oil is known for, a cleansing power, cleansing effects. It's a really important part of step number 2. It's First, we went through managing the body's stress with the balance and the lavender, and now we're going to help the body establish a healthy immune response. So again, when you're working with children, you want to apply just 1 drop. If you're working with adults, you can apply 3 to 5 drops of the oil. And I'm already working into those palm slides. We'll do 3 sets of palm slides on each side. And I found that you can work on a little one a lot quicker than working on an adult. It goes a lot faster. I think it's an amazing thing to do to connect with your child. So, you can take it very slow, or if you're like, I need to get essential oils on my child and try to help them get balanced, just apply the oils. We're not always going to do it perfectly, even though it is written out as a protocol. I think it's really important to just realize that we're not perfect, and we're not going to do it perfect, and you're going to see I make mistakes myself, and it's okay. I mean, we want to do it the way that we've been taught and instructed, because it is very important. But it's just important to connect. Okay, so without losing contact, we want to go ahead and get the next oil out. It's on guard, and I love this oil. It's a really good one. I mean, during cold and flu season, I really do feel like it keeps my family healthy. So it's really good for your immune system. Go ahead and apply 1 drop to the middle of the back. 3 to 5 drops if you're working with a larger body, a larger person. And you're going to perform that oil introduction and move into the alternating palm slide. On Guard has cinnamon, wild orange, eucalyptus, rosemary, clove, and it's one of those oils I don't get tired of. I can be prone to migraines and headaches, and certain oils that I love sometimes give me a headache, but On Guard seems to be just like one that is always very good for my just my body. My body loves that oil, so I diffuse it more than any other oil, and it really does support your immune system. So we're finishing up on that second side, and now we're going to go into the 5-zone activation. And if you'll notice, I think I did do it right this time. The first zone is right next to the spine, and you go straight over and on top of the head. When you do zones 2, 3, 4, and 5, you bring your hands outward when you come across shoulder blades and bring them in just very nicely. Cradle the neck and pull over the crown of the head. This is Bree's favorite part. She loves having her neck pulled and massaged in there. And I guess I would call myself a liar because she actually loves the thumb circles more. They call this the thumb walk. And I think I'm about to demonstrate that I do make mistakes, because I think I do. I only did it once. You only do the thumb walk once. So we're moving on to our next oil, and it is AromaTouch. Okay, good. So AromaTouch is a very key oil. It's useful in helping with inflammation and helping with that inflammatory response, so that, what's the word I'm looking for? Just so that we can flush out a lot of those things that our body doesn't need to hold on to anymore. Dr. Hill talks about whether or not the AromaTouch oil was created for this technique, but it was always a blend that they had. So, but it's been a very important one with this technique. And it's really soothing. I know a lot of massage therapists like to use this oil in their massage sessions, and it's not one of my favorites. I will be honest, it's not one of my favorites. I don't know if it's I don't know, maybe it's the cypress and the marjoram that's in there, because I really like peppermint and basil and lavender and grapefruit, but there's a woodsy smell in there that it's kind of hard for me and sometimes does give me a headache. So, this section, if you'll notice, you just do the alternating palm slides and then the 5-zone activation. And we'll be moving on to the next oil soon, and it's deep blue. And this is actually one of my favorites. It has wintergreen and heliochrysum, blue tansy, ylang-ylang, ylang-ylang, however you want to pronounce it, osmanthus, I butchered that one, peppermint, camphor, and blue chamomile. And I didn't always love this oil, but I love it now. I use it for everything. I use it for migraines, I use it for headaches, I use it for muscle pain. If I'm sleepy, if I'm having hitting the 2 o'clock, like I can't go on and I need a nap moment, I just put a drop on my hand, rub my hands together and put it on the back of my neck. It's just really, it's tingly and warming and minty. And still safe enough to use on children, but definitely just one drop. The whole blend is really great because it is good for muscles and joints, but it also is good for energy, increasing energy levels, and it's really soothing, and I feel like it's emotionally calming. I feel like for my kids, they really like deep blue. And when I started using these essential oils, I used to use another blend from another company, and it seemed to be a little bit more mild. But now that I understand that one drop goes a long way, I'm not afraid to use it at all. And my son wakes up with leg cramps often, so I always have the deep blue nearby, and he knows that that's going to make him feel better. And that's it's an empowering thing as a parent to be able to reach for an oil and massage their legs, and they'll know that they'll feel better. Okay, with the deep blue, you are going to add this thumb walk technique, and it feels really good. Just imagine drawing circles with your thumbs, or eyebrows, half moons, so you don't have to come all the way around, and work your way up the spine. Just one time, when your thumbs get to the hairline, you can kind of do a couple circles along the base of the scalp there. And we're going to move on to the last 2 oils. It's wild orange and peppermint. Very invigorating, very energetic oils. I've been sitting here with wild orange all afternoon, and I really enjoy it. This part of the AromaTouch technique, we work on the feet first, Then we go back again to the back and apply the oils in a similar fashion. But we are going to do some work on the feet. We're going to do, oh, but let me explain here. Do 1 foot at a time, but apply 1 layer of orange oil and 1 layer of peppermint oil. And then this is called the 3-region foot activation. And you're gonna work, region 1 is the heel, region 2 is the middle of the foot, and region 3 is like just the ball of the foot. And you just kind of want to work in a somewhat zigzag motion across the foot. Next, you're going to do a 5-zone activation, just like the back, but we're going to do it on the foot. And you're going to, I just always remember, start at the side of the big toe. And I'm moving pretty fast. I think Dr. Hill would tell me to slow down here. He really wants us to take our time on the feet. And if you know anything about reflexology, there are thousands of nerve endings on the bottom of our feet. And so this is a powerful part of the AromaTouch. It stimulates all of our organs and all of our body systems. So, you know, I use this a lot, that we just do our best, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, right at this time, I found out Hudson and Lily were both camera shy. They did not want to be my massage therapy actors. So my friend Kara, she's like sweetheart, she volunteered her kids, and luckily they were really happy to go ahead and do that. But they were just about ready to come in the door. I mean, come home from school, and I just thought, okay, I just got to get this other foot done and the back done, and we are in the clear. So you're gonna go ahead and take out, I use a little extra oil, again, the coconut oil on the bottom of the foot, and you'll get orange oil, just do a drop, apply it, and then you'll take the peppermint oil and layer that on top, and then you're going to repeat the same protocol. We call it the 3-region foot activation. So the heel, circular motions, the middle of the foot, and then the ball of the foot. Just kind of working in a zigzag pattern. I haven't recorded the part that I'm going to tell you about, really go into depth about this technique, but the online certification is great. Like, it's a wonderful training. It's one of the easiest trainings I've ever done. You do have to take quizzes, but they were luckily very easy, and if you didn't know the answer, you could go back and figure it out, you know. So I highly suggest doing it. I mean, you get a, if you end up being very interested in this, like my friend Kara, if I can explain to you what happened with her, you know, 5 kids, a set of twins, and a young baby, basically. I mean, she's 1, but, and maybe, oh my goodness, almost 2. Anyway, I can't believe how fast the time goes by. So she'd been doing quite a few different things with her children and trying to get them emotionally well and get their immune system strong, because man, when one kid gets sick and it knocks the rest of you out, it's really hard on a family. So, you know, the dollar signs were going up as she was going to different practitioners, and it was on a day that I ended up getting a couple extra massage tables because I wanted to be able to teach parents how to do this technique and then be able to equip them with a table if they want to try it out, you know? So the day that she said, you know, I feel like I got the kids to a good spot, and now I just don't want to, you know, continue paying. I mean, we all know it's expensive to go to the chiropractor, expensive to go to the massage therapist, and if we can do these things for our families and only have to pay for the oils, it's a wonderful thing. So I'm gonna skip over to the oils here now. You can see that we're back up on the back. Finish the foot. We're done with the feet. And all you're going to do is the alternating palm slide. You're not gonna do the 5-zone activation. We did it on the foot with this oil, is the way that he describes that. Instead, and I may do it, I may have forgotten, but instead you do the palm circles. So 3 clockwise palm circles after you finish the alternating palm slides. And this is, again, when you finish the massage, and just as you connected with the client or with your child at the beginning of the massage, this is when you disconnect, right? And leave them in a peaceful feeling. And I always like to have really good, clean energy and try to imagine that they've been able to let go of things that aren't serving them, maybe thought patterns that aren't healthy for them. And at this point, when I do these heart circles, is the point when I usually just kind of say, you know, let go and don't hold on to anything that doesn't serve you. And when you can, again, connect, but really disconnect. And I usually ask them to take a deep breath, inhale and exhale, and on the exhale is when I usually disconnect and lift my hands. She's such a sweet girl. It worked out really good because the footage of Nelson's massage, I actually messed up quite a few times, and it was not working. I couldn't separate the video out. And after you do this once, you kind of get the hang of it, you know. And if you have notes in front of you, it works. But this last part is not part of the AromaTouch. So this is the lymphatic movement. You want to activate lymph function at the end of the technique. And it's important to stimulate this activity at the end so the body can feel restored and continue responding positively once the technique is completed, or has been complete. It brings some value. I really think this is a valuable part of the technique. I'm going to explain really quickly. With Brie, you do 15 to 30 seconds of pressure, pushing against the bottom of the feet and then resting for about 5 seconds in between. And you're going to do it 3 times. So you cup your hands underneath the heels and kind of lock your elbows, not in a super uncomfortable way, and then you stimulate. And I did a very short lymphatic stimulation for Brie. That's it. Now, thank you so much for spending your time with me tonight and learning a little bit about the AromaTouch technique and why it could be a valuable thing for you to start doing for your loved ones, for friends, definitely people that struggle with anxiety, depression, attention and focus problems, definitely our elderly population, people with dementia or Alzheimer's disease. They really benefit from having this work done, and it's so wonderful when you get to do that and bond with them and connect with them yourself, you know.